for something I didn't do. Did y'all see that glitch? They gave me a hate speech strike for a video I did about Asian hate crime. And all I pointed out, you know, the narrative is white supremacy and all that stuff, right? White people are hating everybody. And all I did was point out in that minute and 20-second video that white people are not doing Asian hate crimes. And I pointed out the race of people that are. And I got a hate speech, strike for pointing out the truth, the facts, everything. I researched it. But I got a strike for the truth because they hate the truth. That's all I can figure. So I don't know what I can talk about. I just don't know what to do anymore. I can't talk about what I want to talk about. It's not allowed unless I talk about the narrative. What does that button do? Famous last words. What does that button do? Uh-oh. What is that? I didn't like that button. There went that glitch again. Comments. Let me go to live chat. Is there anyone out there? What does this do? Uh-oh. What does that do? Jen Girl, Buckeye Jim. I don't know, I just pushed another button. I don't know what it did. I'm out of timeout. They let me come back on the tube. Paris Logan. Yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't no hate speech in that video they got me on. But, I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Oh, I guess I can upload my hummingbird video now. I'm on my tablet. I don't know. Excuse me. There ain't no mute on here, is it? I swallowed some coffee the wrong way, and I've been fighting it ever since. Oh, there is a mute. Let me share this. How do I share this? No, I ain't selling any sanitizer at all. I haven't sold the first bit. I'm giving some away. Did I? What? Well, hello, Chile. I can't, man, my eyes are bad. I'm on this tablet. I can't hardly see half the time. Yeah, I figured let me do a mobile live. I haven't, since I'm since I'm not in timeout anymore, I'll just do a mobile. It's Bigfoot season around here, y'all. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about, man, because you try to talk about the truth on here and you get strikes. And this is strike 2. I still got to wait out 2.5 months. And if they strike me again, and the first strike I got a few weeks ago was on a video that'd been up for, no, I'll take that back. This last strike was on a video that'd been up for almost 2 months. Super Dave. It's crazy. And then I did a live stream on my, John Boy Bigfoot Moonshine channel. And it got blocked worldwide because it had a song Don Henley, Dirty Laundry, in the background. Unbelievable. They'll silence you any way they can, and I just don't know. YouTube's no fun anymore. If we tried to do what we used to do on Hangouts on air nowadays, they'd cut our lives. I mean, you really had to be doing something bad to get your live cut back during Hangouts on air. I mean, seriously. Nowadays, you can't say anything unless it's with what they're saying on mainstream. And I just can't go for that lie. I'm just chilling out here. It's cold. It was like, what, 31 degrees this morning? Crazy. Crazy weather. It was in the 80s a week ago. Oh man, y'all can see my coffee. Look at that in my sunglasses. And it's quite full. Got up to 65, y'all. That's a good thing you're up north of us. People's last stand in the house. Well, I'm glad you like them. They're custom made in China. Oh man. Well, I hope other people buy some coffee cups off the old John Boy Teespring store. I wonder what the hoodies and stuff are like. I was gonna get a hoodie. I need to redesign something. I think I'm a. You know what's crazy? Check this out. On my website, on my backwoods motorcycle, my backwoods boat. What is it called again? Backwoods Motorized Bicycle Company channel or website. I posted a picture. That thing's gotten like 175 views in the last 30 days. I'm getting more views on my website than I can on my YouTube channel. Is that not crazy? I don't have a link. My daggone laptop, I didn't feel like, I mean, all I gotta do is turn it on. I didn't feel like doing that. Tank tops. Well, I got all sorts of stuff over there, Jenny. I got t-shirts. Did y'all see the green? If you didn't see it, you had to have seen it flash on my sunglasses. This daggum AI is watching everything. Whoa, there it went again. Did y'all see it in my glass? See, y'all can see my screen down there. That's kind of freaky, ain't it? It glitches, y'all. Man, this is turning out to be a John Boy Acid show. Minus the music. It ain't gonna glitch again. Oh, there it went. The AI. The reason you're seeing that glitching, the reason you see during some lives you see all these little big glitchy boxes, that's because the AI is trying to itemize everything. It's trying to put it in a category. Let me catch up on this chat. Oh, you're seeing the green? Yeah, that's, man, I'm shit, man. When I'm on this tablet, I've got to sit there and X out of something twice because it's like I'm on two computers. Polar message, what's going on? Yeah, I'm scared to even play background music anymore. They block my videos to Super Dave with music. I don't care about the music claim, but they block it. I miss it, man. Oh man, y'all. It's getting deep out here in the world. It's getting deep out there, y'all. Crazy, man. I ain't never seen nothing like it, man. Up is down, down is up, left is right, right is left, forward is backwards, and backwards is forward, and huh. And you know what? I can't talk about that topic on here either. Man. Save Center, what's going on? It's definitely the last days. Man, that's messed up. I've never had my camera on this side, but the way I got this setting on my work. Oh hell, I'm missing something. It's a Galaxy 7. I've had it for, I don't know, going on 3 years now. I use it, I mean, it's my Wi-Fi, it's everything. Y'all notice how I keep my finger underneath my cup like that? Sometimes I lose grip and I'll be holding the cup. Next thing I know, it's like, bloop, fell out. So I learned just to pull that little pinky finger and put it underneath it like a stopper. It's terrible, man. My hands have been cramping up like this and stuff. It's crazy. Oh, I might. Oh, I got shocked. No, this thing never used to do that. The green glitch and stuff until here lately. So I don't know what it is. I thought I heard some hell out there. Beer cans of handles. It's just, what I think it is, Polar. I've got so many alphabet agencies watching, and my live streams have got to go through so many of them before it actually gets to y'all. Then it kind of messes it up. I mean, I don't know how many people have seen or was live with me when I had that survey done on me, health survey, where they wanted to know how many guns I had and where did I keep them. It's all part of a health survey. How many paths or walkways around my house. Just simple health questions. And then a follow up. Oh, that was crazy. And they blew up my good computer during a live stream. Everything, I mean, all my pictures and videos that I used in my movie maker thing, I have no access to. They're on that computer only. Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt the aging hardware, because actually aging hardware is a program to make it look like your hardware is getting old and can't handle it no more. I'm telling you, it's all a daggum trick. That's what I try to tell my brother, man. Just they already got Windows 50. I mean, they just ain't released it. They've already got all the programs they're going to use on Windows 50 when it comes out, 30 years from now, wherever, right? But they could be using those programs now, but they try to make it look like information technology is getting so good that they've got all these advancements, but they could be doing all of it right now. And all they do, the differences in the Windows, they just change the language up. Same programs, they just have the computer, say Windows 10 is running in English or whatever their language is at the time. You know what I mean? Computer code language. And the Windows 11 will be the same programs, but written in a different language. And all we gotta do is change a few symbols and that changes programs. But all the programs are the same, just written in different languages. Man, people don't understand that AI is in everything, and the AI is self-aware of itself being alive in its own reality. Oh, whenever I talk about stuff like that, it's when I hit certain subjects, I get these glitches. Because I'm telling you, man, I got perfect signal right here. That's why I'm doing it right here. Why's that thing? Huh. That was crazy. It put in another comment from Poland above his comment I saw, if that makes any sense. I'm telling you, man, I'll see comments come in, and then I'll look back, and there's comments before the comments that wasn't there when I read Well, it got me again. Hey, I see it happen on my laptop when I live stream. It happened on my computer before it blew. I got a brand new. It's a little Acer. I don't know what you call it, but anyhow, it's a little computer tower, a little Acer. It's brand new, right? It does it. Y'all hear that truck go by? Y'all hear that truck go by right there? One of them was eating on them French fried potatoes. Man, what a day! What a day! Man, I have a puppy that showed up. I can't do nothing with it. That's a story in itself. That Acer's working so well, that's why I'm on my tablet. No, it's just set up on my other workbench on the other side of the shop. And I've done moved so much stuff around that it's too much trouble to get to, pull the chair out. I work in a moonshine factory. It gets cluttered up sometimes with all the mash. I'm kidding. I did move a lot of crap around. I don't know what that thing is, man. It's some sort of little Acer. It's a little, I mean, I think it's, what, 12 inches tall, maybe 4 inches wide, maybe 3 inches wide, about 8 inches deep or something. It ain't a big tower. I cannot load OBS on it. It's got Windows 7. What blew up on me, I had a Hewlett Packard Pavilion gaming computer. Man, the video, was it the video manager? What was it? The video driver went out. That's what it was. But that computer, man, it was pretty quick. Like I said, I figured out OBS. I could make videos of OBS better than I could the Movie Maker and stuff. Man, it's a little video thing. I ain't lying, it ain't big at all. It's about the size of old, I don't know how old you are, but if you remember like encyclopedias when you're in school, it's about the size of an encyclopedia. It ain't big. But say the computer that lost the driver on it, man, that thing. I had another channel on there that I can't remember. I could get to that channel on that computer, you know what I mean? I can't remember passwords and stuff now to get on it anywhere else. I lost a lot of stuff when that computer went down. Shoot, I've had light hit my shot. It was 2 times in like 4 days. But in all reality, last year it got hit, and so it's been hit like 3 times in less than a year. Some crazy stuff around there. Wages world, what's going on, man? Man, these people are crazy, man. I don't know what to talk about anymore. You know, you'll have to go to the front. I'm not going to dare repeat what I did to get the strike. But I just use the mainstream media's own sources and their stuff and pointed out the obvious. And evidently they hate the truth. They gave me a hate speech wage, Mark. Crazy. Man, hope everything's doing all right for you, Mark. I don't know. To be honest with you, YouTube has upset me so bad that I don't even feel like getting on here and doing anything. It's like a waste of time. I don't have an opinion when it comes to how. Well, there goes the glitching. I don't have an opinion when it comes to how I feel about certain things going on. You know, it drives me crazy. So it don't drive me crazy. It just, why waste my time if I don't have a voice? Oh, that's what I do, man. I'm me. I haven't changed. I'm always going to be me. But man, I want to talk about, this bull crap that's going on. I was going to title something, and I'm even scared to say it because I'm 2 strikes. I'm on like probation for the next 2.5 months. If I get one more strike, this channel's gone. And I could understand if I was intentionally putting stuff out there that was just bad or hateful. But when I put stuff out there, it's the truth, the fact, hey, look at this, and I get a hate speech on it. I just don't get it. Yeah, StreamYard, I didn't know, man, I've been missing so much chat. I love you too, Wage. Y'all just keep true to yourself, man. And look, the live streams, they can get to you. Man, back Hangouts on there, I think I went 4 days straight live streaming. You could only get 8 hours, then you'd have to start another live stream. But I'd do 8 hours, start another live stream, 8 hours. And I was on like the fourth day, and dadgum, the only way they could stop me is they hit the tower of lightning and blew up the AT&T signal I had. West Texas in the house. Man, I've been wanting to go StreamYard. This is what I want to do. I want to do interviews. I want to go back to what I was doing and try to interview channels. I've had Ben Time Traveler on here. I've had UFO Builder, uh, Tales of the Blue-Eyed Indian. Wade, you've been on here, I think twice. No, once. That's when Kicking with Ben was over here. I mean, I've been on like Jeff P's channel. I've been everywhere too. And I don't know. YouTube started changing things up. And I just kind of lost interest on this, man. YouTube don't know what they're doing. You keep giving people strikes for their opinions that aren't hurting a thing, you know. Freedom of speech, First Amendment. But yeah, man. I just I don't know. I don't know anymore, man. I don't know what to talk about. And it ain't worth talking about anyhow, because there's nothing we can really do about it, because these people got a plan that they are following to the T. And it don't involve us, the people. I dropped my cigarette. Yeah, their plan. I mean, it does involve us, but not in a good way. I gotta watch what I say, man. I'm standing up there at the bat. I've got 2 strikes. This next swing is a hit or a miss. You know what I mean? I gotta watch it. I can't get another strike. The game's dependent on it. I can't keep this cigarette lit for nothing. Man, this is the time of year that the thing will sit there and start screaming. They've been making some noises and doing fake owls and all sorts of stuff. Oh, thank this. I am. Miss Southern Belle, how you doing? This thing wasn't even letting me know people have been in here chatting. Oh, they ain't getting to me, Danielle. It's just, I'd like to have a platform on the internet, which I do have a website, and I'm thinking about changing it from what it is to John Boy Channel. That way I can just load my videos there. I don't have to worry about loading them to YouTube. I'll just load them to www dot, you know what I mean? They can't censor me there, you know? But I'd like to be able to, have some say in what I see, what's really going on. It's ridiculous, man. These people are taking the jab and still got to wear that face diaper. Let me tell you something, Mark. I was monetized, right? All my videos met the criteria to have commercials put on them. One day out of the blue, YouTube demonetized me, told me that they did not like my content, that I should change my content and create something different. Yeah. But my problem is, if commercials are meeting the requirements to be advertised on, who gives YouTube the right to demonetize my whole channel because they don't like my content? So what? You don't have to put, if you're a company, you don't have to put an ad on my video that is monetizable if you don't like the content. But YouTube has no right to demonetize my whole channel because I'm making videos that people don't want to put commercials on. You see, I'm missing. And check this out. On top of that, YouTube still owes me $119 for my ads and super chats. Then, to be honest with you, $110 of that is super chats, and the $9 are the ad revenue. You know, that's pretty sad. Ad revenue is that low because YouTube, whatever you call them, they're taking, when it's all said and done, they're getting almost 45% of your earnings through the ads and the super chats. But if you try to go around it and do PayPal and stuff, then they'll strike you for not using their services. I can't hurry. I'm trying to catch up on this. Yeah. Well, check this out. Used to, all right, now YouTube changed their policy to where they can put commercials on any of your videos, whether you're monetized or not. All right. Oh, shoot, there went that green again. Exactly, Wages World. What YouTube is doing now is they redid the contract. And it now says that they are able to put commercials on any video you make, whether you're monetized or not. And the way you agree to that term in that contract is if you use YouTube again after reading this contract. So if you just log on to YouTube and didn't even know you had that Gmail, then you agreed to them putting commercials on. That's the only way out of it. You can't go back to YouTube. Well, YouTube started, all the commercials I see now are the YouTube Premium. Watch it uninterrupted. YouTube Premium. That's the big. Well, look, YouTube can make more money off selling the premium, so you can skip all the commercials than they can make off the commercial ads. It's a no-brainer. I was going somewhere with this, and I kind of lost track. Is the scamming YouTube. But that's what they're doing now. That's where I was going. So on the copyright music stuff, usually if you have some music going in the background, squash in the house. You making any shine, squash. But what you used to do, you know how we went through the era of 18 plus or for children, all that dumb crap. Well, if you put 18 plus audience, mature audience, you cannot have commercials on that video. So what I would do, if I got a music copy claim, and if they claim it on that video, they'll allow the video to keep playing, but that whoever has that music claim can now put commercials on your video. So I was like, oh, I know how to stop this. So when they put a claim on the music, I would sit there and I'd put that video on 18 plus. You know what YouTube started doing after that because they couldn't put a commercial on it because it's set on 18 plus? YouTube would block that video worldwide. Yeah. If they can't get a commercial on it, they're not going to let it fly. Oh my goodness, Squash, are you reading my mind? Are you reading my mind? Check this out. You know what that is? I hate to pull that tape back. The top of it reads, roasted malted corn. Roasted malted corn, popcorn sultan's secret recipe. Yeah, that's how Popcorn got his nickname. They want to say because he got mad at the popcorn machine. No. That's my malted popcorn for my 10 pounds of popcorn that I'm fixing. Check this out. Where's it at? I can't see that. I gotta grind that stuff up, buddy. Oh, what is Wade getting out of here? All right, man, Mark, you stay good out there, man. Appreciate you swinging in. See you later, people's last stand. Got 50 pounds. Woo. Hey, you know why I chose to do that, Squash? Because from what I found so far, popcorn is non-GMO'd. Popcorn is the last real strain of corn we have, except for Indian corn. Think about it. But every bag I've gotten says non-GMO corn. Oh, I've been doing that, Squash. I got one barrel sitting beside an oil filled heater, and then I got another jug that's in a cardboard box with a daggum heating pad wrapped around it, and I got old jeans and stuff wrapped around it. You won't believe what I'm fixing to make. Some daggum sassafras root shine, buddy. That's gonna be some good. Man, it's gonna be good. And you won't believe what else I'm doing. I'm in the process. I'll show you the wood real quick. This isn't a good example of the wood, but I found me some trees, some sassafras trees that have basically died, but they're not rotten. They've just dried right? And they're about 3 years drying that I've cut down. I'm fixing to get those things on a bandsaw, and I'm fixing to make some planks. And I'm fixing to build me a little wooden barrel out of sassafras and chart. I'm doing some crazy stuff. Check this out. I don't know if y'all can read that. But anyhow, I've learned how to engrave on that gum glass. And then, man, this is going to the West Coast. Hand sanitizer. Everybody needs their hand sanitizer. Let's see what I've missed in these chats here. Man, yeah, it felt like fall today and yesterday. It's crazy. Hey, they can't plant because Billy Boy owns everything. Billy ain't gonna grow any crops on the farmlands. Dadgum squad, I got dadgum. Oh, I'm gonna make some. I've got the crop coming in this year is some wild black raspberries. It looks like I'm gonna have at least 3 gallons of black raspberries. Oh, that's gonna. But I've got 2 different batches of grape, 2 different batches of orange. I've got 1 batch of elderberry, elderberry grape batch, peach, apple pie, and not that crap they make afterwards where they add ingredients to it. I'm talking about apple pie that came through the steam. Oh, and I've come up with this invention. It's changed everything. It's crazy. I'll have to talk to you on the phone about it or something. Matter of fact, you need to let me install it on your hand sanitizer machine, because you'll tell the difference. Look, it doesn't even go inside anything. It goes on the outside, and it changes everything. Let me try to catch up on this chat. Man, I can't. I've been trying to plant sassafras and get some to root. I've been experimenting. I've gotten, and check this out. I found out sassafras bark is kind of like your what do they call that? You know how they use cedar or whatever, or that pine resin? What do they call that? Firewood. Or not persimmon. Sassafras has kind of got that quality too. Sassafras got oil. Sassafras is kind of related to the cedar. I've been doing a lot of studying on it. You would have to, if you made sassafras tea, the only way to get the lab results they got with the rats, you have to drink 28 gallons of tea a day for, I think, 21 years. Yeah, the FDA said it's a carcinogen. All right, Danielle. Hell, you know what I was thinking? I've got enough trees. I've been looking, and I've been thinking about. Man, I've got some sassafras. I didn't realize how many I had right here. I mean, right here, right around this shop. I've got some sassafras trees that are at least 10 inches across. But they're beneficial, man. They help with your respiratory. I mean, that's what the Cherokee Indians used to use. You know, and I'm part Cherokee. I'm pretty partial to the outdoors. Hey, squad, it should be out there. It really should, I think. And I've been getting surprised. I've been finding it where I didn't think I'd find it. I've been walking past some that for some reason the bark almost looked like hickory. So I just said hickory. And I got to looking once, you know how once your eye focuses, oh, it did that green thing. Once your eye focuses on something, you can see it all the time. Well, once I focused on the sassafras leaf and everything in the bark, I started seeing little saplings coming up everywhere. And I started seeing bark out in the middle of the woods I never realized the sassafras would be. Yeah, they kind of like it where it's moist but drains. But they'll be on the side of a hill. They're kind of on the edge of a wood line. And it's really easy to see them, man, the bark. Even though this piece is kind of old and messed up. Man, where's it? I can't get good light on that. But this was like another little one I found, and I got to realize that's like a hardwood, man. This one here is pretty rotted, but the core was pretty stout, and I was like, huh. So that's what made me go, and I found a better one. It was gonna be dead next year anyhow, and I was like, well, I'll get it now. So I've been letting it out and age and dry, and I ain't lying, man, I'm fixing to make me a wooden barrel out of daggone sassafras and put some root shine in it and let it age for about 5 years if I'm still alive. Maybe they'll find it, fossilized in a rock 200 million years from now, and the shine's still good in it. I'm buffering. I don't know, man. I'm talking about shine making me buffer. Oh, man. It shouldn't be. I'm not moving anything. They're just trying to read my mind. I don't know why it ain't green glitching now. It shows you got 8 people in the chat. Oh man, the military helicopter's been going over, and the daggum cloud maker's been flying over. And my neighbor, you know how I've been telling you helicopters landing way out in the middle of nowhere. My neighbor the other day sat there and told me the same. He goes, "Man, I think helicopters are landing and taking off." I go, "What makes you say that?" He goes, "I've been hearing them." I go, "Man, I've been saying that's been happening for a while now." Yeah. Yeah, I got a little pineapple cooking right now, and the root shine's cooking. I love the way sassafras smells. I even saved some of the tea. When I boiled it up. What I did is I like what are you calling it? Inverting my sugars. And I like on this kind of stuff I use brown sugar only. Molasses just costs too much. But if you invert the sugar, because brown sugar is just white sugar with a little molasses in it. But to get that white sugar to taste more like molasses, you've got to invert it. So you boil that stuff for like 20 minutes. I usually boil it for 30 minutes. But what I do is I'll get that sugar to boiling, and then I'll put whatever, like I got some pineapple. I mean, I had real pineapples that I sliced up and everything. There goes this glitch. As soon as I sat there and got that sugar and stuff boiling for about 3 minutes, I put all those pineapples in there. Basically, I candied the pineapples. My theory is if you can candy the pineapples, then that yeast is going to have to eat up that candied pineapple and you should get more flavor over. Squash, we're going to have to hook up one day. Start our own moonshining channel. I think me and you put our heads together. Ooh, look out, Jim Beam. Shoot, I'm aging stuff. I got stuff aged. I thought it would be good, but I don't really like how it tastes now. But I was using charred cherry wood, and well, that's good. I ain't really. I mean, I'll taste stuff, but I ain't got drunk. This stuff I got around here, I can take a quarter shot. I'm going to have to go take a nap. I ain't lying. It don't get you. It just, I don't know how to explain it. It ain't like you get an alcohol buzz. It's like you get a daggum NyQuil shot. But it tastes good, man. I got this peach rum. Man, you can take your little taste of that. Take, like a half a shot, quarter shot. You don't want to take a full shot. And you can swallow that. And look, tastes like you put water in your mouth, but as soon as you swallow, you can feel the heat go down your throat and hit your stomach and just expand everywhere. Mine too, man. And I hate man, that's my biggest problem. I like to keep it what it is when it comes out. And I hate, what do you call it, tempering, where you got to add water to bring it down to the proof. That irks me. I don't like. Oh, yeah. That's my problem. I mean, it's sipping whiskey at that point. When it's that high, it ain't drinking whiskey, it's sipping whiskey. And it don't take but about 4 sips, and you're feeling fine. Yeah, that's my deal, man. I tried proving some down to 100, and I'm like, man, it just changed everything. I ain't lying. I mean, it just, I don't like it. And I'm trying to figure out how, I don't know. What? Yeah. What? It don't taste like nothing. That's the whole problem I got when I did this little experiment and tried to temper it down to like 100. I couldn't imagine going to 80 proof because 100 like sucked. I mean, at 150 is fine. I don't know. It's just, well, look, you'd like what comes out of mine, then, because I ain't lying, man. It's the weirdest thing. Your pour shots come out, then your heads come out at about, on mine, they come out like 170, well, 190, 180 to 190. And then they drop down to 175. And then it'll stay like 165 all the way through the hearts. And once it gets to the end of the hearts, then it like completely drops off. It's the weirdest thing. And look, it's happened run after run after like 10 runs, and it does the same thing. Oh, there went the green. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, like the tails and stuff. My tails are like, if I go, all right, all I'm doing is like 5 gallons. So at the end of mine, I don't know, how should I say this? Once the heart's in, it's like 300 milligrams of tails I can get out before it really starts getting cloudy. Or milliliters, I should say. What I say, milligrams. But the weird thing is, I can't get to tails that smell like everybody explains. Gum, y'all see that? The wet cardboard, wet dog. Yeah, I have gotten there before, but it depends on what your batch was made out of. The last one I did, I am so confused on it. I broke it down into individual little bottles, and I've got like 32 bottles sitting there. Some of them got 100 milliliters in them, and the hearts are 300 milliliters. And but the weird thing, what I'm trying to get to out of a 5 gallon batch, there is no way by 3.5 liters I should still be putting out 160 proof, but it does. Yeah, yeah, it goes quick. Well, that's what. Yeah, I mean, the heads. I'll even put those back in a run if I got. I've done experiments. One time I put the first time I ever ran this thing, it was like 16 degrees outside, and I put 2.5 quarts of like, I don't know, 120 proof in there, and I cranked that thing up, and I squeezed out like a quart and a half of that. But the problem was over there in the boiler part, there wasn't no liquid left. It was crazy because when I took it off to dump it out, nothing poured out. So man, I had like a steamer going there, but it didn't really. What it was some old corn that I'd gotten from somebody else in a batch of mine I'd made a couple years ago, and I was gonna see if it would clean it up by redistilling it, and it kind of did, but it still had that taste. I had an accidental scorching. It's a long story. Hang on one second. Had to say, man, about a horse. I missed some chat. Hang on. Well, shoot, Squash, you don't live that far away. We need to find us a daggum mountainside out there, but daggum limestream spring coming out of it at the top. And set up like that. Oh, it's taking pictures of me is what it feels like. We'll start our own Discovery Channel. And we'll hire the big feets to tote the daggum sugar and corn and stuff up the hillside for us. You know, I saw somewhere these old timers talking. He said you could go up to 8 runs. But let me tell you something. Look, I don't know, man. I was experimenting. I was doing this peach rum, right? And I used sorghum and everything. But I wanted to kind of put a kick to it, something a little different. So I had, the peach, a little cinnamon, some nutmeg, all that in there. And I thought, you know what? What about this old dried Tabasco pepper I got? It wasn't about that long. It wasn't an inch long. Been drying for 3 years, hanging on a string. I go, let me throw that in there. I made a batch. It's kind of weird because, it come out good, but I just didn't taste enough peach and stuff like I thought I would. Which the good peach was up in the heads, and I was kind of scared to get up in there. And then there was some peach in the tails, but it was kind of had some bad. So, and I ain't too good on this blending yet. And anyhow, so I re-fermented that, right, and I made a run. Let me tell you what, that daggone uh, Tabasco pepper came out even a little more hotter. It made it to where when you taste this stuff, you couldn't taste it. I mean, you could get your little half a shot, right? Put it in your mouth, and after you swallowed it, then you start feeling the burn. But it was weird. It was a moonshine burn with a pepper burn. And after it hit your stomach, then you can feel your lips start burning. But not a bad burn. It wasn't like a pepper burn, but it was pepper magnet burn. It was kind of unique. So then I was like, you know what? Let me try a third try on this. And man, that's what I got in there now that I can't figure out because that stuff tastes like it's as strong as heads all the way to the tails. And look, some of that stuff like you just poured a Tabasco bottle in your mouth. I ain't lying. This pepper hot so hot you can't taste the moonshine for the pepper hot. And I'm like, man, I can't go anymore. And I was calling it generations, like first generation peach, second generation. Well, this third generation, whew, and on top of that, I was using some yeast. I reactivated that was over 20 years old. It was champagne yeast. So I was getting that crazy amounts of ABV. Isn't that what? Yeah, I think that's. Hang on, I missed a comment here. Really? See, that's all that crap. Look, Squash, what I was telling you about all my wild edibles dying years ago. You know how long I've been telling y'all the could not reseed itself or anything, right? When it's done it to the trees too. I saw the ballberries not produce anything last year or the year before. The persimmons aren't doing anything. I don't know what's going around out here. Sounds like army trucks, man. I swear I've been hearing army vehicles out here in these woods. I heard something sound like half tracks. You know how they squeak? I forgot what I was talking about. Well, what it was, I had some wine that was over 20 years old, right? And it had a settlement in the bottle. Well, I sat there and, threw that wine in the boiler and, made some clear liquid out of it. And I let that stuff rest, it cooled down or whatever. and I poured it. What it was, I had this 5-gallon glass cardboard bottles. And when it was cool, I just poured it back into that cardboard bottle. And, I got the daggum airlock on top of it. And it warmed up. And I looked one day and I noticed the airlock was bubbling. And I looked and I was like, daggum, it re-fermented. The yeast that was in the bottom. So I sat there and got some grape juice and stuff. Anyhow, that's how I got that yeast going. And I did save some yeast out of the bottle. I put it in the refrigerator. But I got some yeast I'm using now that's crazy, man. It had stuff. It had the daggum bottle shaking like that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I don't know how to even pronounce the name. That stuff right there. It's got yeast in it. But that stuff right there, whew. And look, it'll start smelling like daggum honey. Oh, I might miss some comments. Yeah, he's out there. There's a lot of them out here to squash. My neighbor tells me there's 3, 4 of them out here last night. I'm like, dude, I try not to pay any attention. Because I'm telling you, man, I've been thinking back. I don't know how old I was. I can't remember. It was 79 or 81. I don't know. But when I saw that thing, there's no turning back from that. There is no way. When you see something does not supposed to exist, it's supposed to be a myth, but you see it standing there in real life right in front of you. There's no going back from that, man. And I live out here in the middle of the woods. And ever since that day, and I'm going to say 81, every time I go in the woods, I think about it. I can't help it because they're out there. And since I've been here, all the stuff that has happened around here, the stuff that I ain't even got on video or anything. I mean, like all those knocking. Yeah, I heard about using raisins. I almost did it. I don't see UFO. Oh, hey, UFO. I didn't see you in here. I'm on my tablet. I got a YouTube timeout for something I didn't do. I promise you I didn't do it. Hate speech is when they hate you telling the truth. I just pointed out something. They quit laying that. Yeah. Poor chickens. But there's people say they don't cook on the grains. Well, you can. And if you do, you'll get a little more squeezings out of them. You know what I mean? That's like what I got going now. I got like whole slices, big round slices of pear. What it is, I candied half the pear when I was inverting the brown sugar, and I saved half the pears to put in like if I was making wine, right? So they'd be just, uncooked. Actually, I candied it, like I said. Got all your channels back. I don't know. I got all mine. This is my main one that I like, and YouTube is shadow banning. I can't get any My website, my www website gets more views than this channel per month. And I don't have anything on there hardly. I just put up a new picture a month ago. A picture, not even a video. I think it's got like 175 views in a month. I think it got like 100 and something last month. So it's like 200 and something views in 2 months. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, grits. I just gotta find a better way to grind, man. That thing there's is a old it's called a food grinder. And man, I tell you, it's kind of hard to sit there and grind corn with it because it wants to catch and you kind of back up and go. It ain't like you can smoothly rotate the hand. Man, that thing did a green on again. And then when I was experimenting, I found out, and it's doing it like a quarter of it's cornmeal consistency, and the rest of it's daggum like chicken scratch consistency, which that's good enough for me. But I'm telling you, man, that popcorn ought to give it a flavor. Because I malted that other popcorn and I dry roasted it a little. One of them, I know I probably hurt the enzymes, but I really dry roasted it, kind of got it a little darker. And it brought out that popcorn smell even more. And I thought, you know what, this is going to be good. But I'm going to do it right. I'm thinking about making a double batch. I need a bigger thing. I need a bigger sanitizer machine. You know what's crazy, Squash? 30 gallons. Woo. My dad's got an old grain grinder that's got a round wheel on it. But I remember as a kid, and I'm talking about this thing's an antique. Because I remember, 45 years ago when I was like 6 or 7 or whatever, of us grinding corn on it for the chickens. But it's made out of like cast iron, and the wheel broke, and they tried nickel welding it and all that. And I'm thinking, you know what? Ain't no need to keep that wheel on there. It's on a shaft. You can take the screw, the set screw loose and either rig up a pulley or rig up a handle and put on there. And I'm fixing to. It's been sitting out in the weather for all this time, too. I looked at it the last time I was at my dad's and I forgot to ask him if I could see if I could kind of restore it back. I don't want to really know what I'm doing, but he knows what I'm doing. Because he asked me, "You sold any of that?" Man, I ain't selling nothing. It's bad enough that they don't want me to have it in the first place, but selling it's a different story. But I bet I'm gonna shut up right now. Man, check this out. I went as far as it was yesterday. I was gonna do a live stream titling it "My Experience at Co-op." Anyhow, I went up to Co-op because I was like, you know what? I got an acre of bottomland down there. No, yeah, I ain't never sold nothing. For real. I've given some away, and that's the truth. It's a gift. And consider yourself the lucky one to have gotten it. Because ain't nobody else in the world ever tasted that. And I've got this woman that I let sample some, and she just can't believe it. This thing ain't scrolling the messages. Man, not only have you given a lot away, you had a overnighter indulge himself in all of it once. Mm. What was that? Moonshine and ice cream don't mix. I mean, it's good, but not in those amounts. I used to like. Oh, yeah, that'll be all right. Like that. I used to get like a little cap full of Jim Beam and pour it on my vanilla ice cream. I can't see any chat. But no, I'm thinking about. You remember in the old days, man? People used to use like old charter, honey, and lemon juice. Man, that stuff would knock out a cough or anything. I'm thinking about mixing the elixir together, man, because I'm telling you, this stuff is good for you. I mean, you do it, you sip. It's like medicine, man. People don't understand this stuff. It does sanitize your insides. You can't get sick. Yeah, yeah. It was orange sherbet, huh? We kept waiting for you to fall out of that chair. That was funny. Uh, the good old days before censorship, before YouTube changed into ScrewTube. I guess I can still talk about them, right? The fact checkers are based on opinions. That's the craziest thing I've seen. They'll fact check something and dismiss an actual fact over somebody having an opinion that the fact is false. What do you think, man? Check this out. Oh, UFO. You ain't gonna believe what I did. See, I've been into magnets all my life, right? Check this out. To try to better understand, how these magnets are working, I got this in the mail the other day. You know what this is? It's that magnet film. You sit there, I don't have a magnet over here. But it'll show the magnetic fields of a magnet. That's crazy. It's just showing my screen. But anyhow, it's a daggum. What's the correct termage? A CMS magnetic viewing film. Because I got to figure out what I'm doing. Because, man, what I showed on that video was kind of like you could make a magnetic switch. I had a balance point, that thing. I had a magnet on the top. And I didn't have magnets on the bottom, but it was on a piece of steel, right? And that ring's got magnets on it. But I could find a balance point, and if it went a little up, it'd go up. And if it went a little down, it'd go down. But like I said, I've been experimenting with magnets. Because I'm going to tell you, my whole hand sanitizer machine, It's based on everything I've read on. What was that dude's name that built the Coral Castle down in Florida? I've got the book on his notebook, his notes he used to do, and the experiments he did. And he was using copper wires, and he could find ley lines. And there's like Tesla. You know how Tesla knew how to get electricity out of the. Well, look, I had the hand sanitizer running, and I took my own meter up there and used milliamps or millivoltage amps or whatever. That thing was reading in the air, man, and it was ohming out in the air. It was weird. And then I couldn't figure out where my negative and positive was. But and then I lined up my copper tubing with the ley lines, and I don't know, kind of thing where everything goes counterclockwise. And I set up I know a dude that does, he has his own hand sanitizer machine, and he saw mine. And he's like, "It's wrong." I'm like, "What's wrong about it?" He goes, "You're coming out and going to the left." I go, "Exactly." He goes, your corkscrews are going the wrong direction. They're supposed to go clockwise, not counterclockwise." And I'm like, "Dude, this is how I set it up." Because I've been watching Tesla, the dude that built the Coral Castle. Daggum, if anybody's ever seen the Hutchison effect, and he uses frequencies and stuff, man, it's just crazy. But that levitation thing is the key to my hand sanitizer. It does. It's a magnetic water vapor lock. It eliminates having to have a dadgum column. It eliminates having to have thumpers. It's crazy. I'm trying to get a patent on it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're talking about like electromagnetic. When I was a kid, my dad sat there and he said, "Watch this." And he took a steel bar and he took some copper wire and he wrapped around the bottom of it. I forgot how many times. Then he got a washer and slid it down the bar. And then he took the wires and he sat there and hooked them to a 12-volt battery, and it shot the washer off. First ever railgun. And that was back in the 70s, man. That's what I'm saying. I've been doing this stuff since the 70s, man. Science, real science, intrigues me. And when I say real science, I'm talking about 0 point gravity, time travel, using ley lines, using the directions of the earth, man. Copper. Copper is a magical metal. People don't realize it. Yep. That's why they use it in stills, man, because it has medicinal properties, man. It strips sulfates out. It adds qualities. And you know what? It does magnetize to a degree. Because what I've done in there, I have changed. I've got a copper line in there that if you get a compass near it pulls the north. Oh no, I dropped my tobacco stuff. It pulls the north needle toward the copper. But only in a certain section where I'm using my levitation device. I missed some comments. Oh yeah, it will get hot. Man, it's getting cold out here. Getting cold out here, y'all. But yeah. I just thought I'd go live. Oh, they blinked me again. I just thought I'd go live because I can. There ain't no telling how long the John Boy channel. Man, one time, a long time ago, I met this dude. I used to go to this laundromat. There's this old dude sitting in there. I don't know how we got on the subject, but he sat there and maybe he started, but he goes, I'm going to tell you something, you're probably not going to believe me. And I go, what's that? He says, I went a half hour back in the past. And at this time, I was experimenting with coppers and magnets, and I was doing stuff, and this guy kind of intrigued me. I was like, well, how'd you do that? He goes, I don't know if I should tell you or not. And I was like, no, come on. You know, everything's cool. He said, and this is what he told me to do. You get copper pipe that's 4 foot long. You get 2 pieces that are 4 foot long. You dig into the ground about 6 inches to where you can lay this copper pipe across each other like that, right? And you got to have a piece of rubber in so the copper pipes don't touch. And you put it 6 feet in the ground and cover it back up. Now it's got to be pointing north, south, east, and west. You stand where the 2 pipes make the X. And he says that will that will make you go back in time. And he was trying to get back. He wanted to go back to 1874 for some reason. But anyhow, he told me the story and how he wound up. Why ain't this thing? Good go. You know, Squash, the biggest problem I found is having containers. Containers to put stuff in. Check this out. This is what I don't get either, Squash. If I could go back one day to a day in time, I would go back to that day old Billy Boy stole the Microsoft idea from his buddy. And I'd beat him up in the back alley and take his idea, and I'd be the Billy Boy of the world. I'd be telling y'all are getting jabs. Everyone in the world must jabs. Yep, that's where I would go. I would go to that day Billy Boy stole Microsoft idea. Yep. Shoot, squad. I found a bunch of half gallon Crown Royal bottles and stuff that I've used, but my problem is out of a 5-gallon batch, I can get, depending on how it, bubbled, I can get almost a gallon to over a gallon of 160 proof. That's crazy. Whatever I've done, I can instead of getting a whole gallon of 100 proof is what it should be. You know what I mean? If you try to, all right, 10%. Usually, you're gonna have 10% alcohol in your batch. Just a general moonshiner's average, 10%. So a 10-gallon batch, you should get 1 whole gallon of 200 proof alcohol. Well, you're not going to get 200 proof. So in order to get that whole gallon of alcohol out of that 10-gallon batch, you're going to wind up with what? You're probably going to get about 3 gallons out, but it'll be down there 150 proof, 140 proof, 130 proof. Because there's only 1 whole gallon of alcohol in that 10 gallons. Yeah, I think I do too. And if I use that champagne yeast and it takes a little bit longer, I can get 20%. But what I can't figure out is how whatever I've done, it's all right, whatever I've done using these magnetics, I can squeeze. It's crazy and I don't get it. But I can squeeze almost a gallon of 160 proof out of a 5-gallon batch. Is that not crazy? That is crazy. It's unheard of. It shouldn't be doing that. I did too, man. I had that pear wine. That stuff turned out to be what was it? It was no, it come out 18%. That's what it was. It was like 36 proof. No, I'm sorry, it was 19%. That's what it was. Cause I had my hydrometer, I knew my starting and I knew my end. And look, it ended at 0.990. It went below the gravity water. Yeah, that's what I made that, man. Let me tell you. I got 300 milliliters of heads that you can take a little drop and touch your tongue, and it's like the dentist done squirted Novocaine in your mouth. I ain't lying, man. One drop and numb your whole mouth. And I go, you know what? That'd be good for a toothache. So I ain't throwing that away. I ain't lying. It's not the 4 shots. Yeah, that's what that champagne yeast is I got. It's for high alcohol. That baker's yeast, it ain't. You're lucky if you can get 15 out of it. But what I've done is I still got some of that champagne I do that kind of floats around. So that way, when the baker's yeast gets kind of used up, I still had the champagne yeast in there that'll take over at the end. It's a little slower. But that champagne yeast now, that stuff will work at lower temperatures. But it is slower. The way I figured, man, I got it figured out. I know how many barrels of this I should have going and how many I could be doing this and how many I could be doing that. I just need a license. Well, shoot, daggum, last time. Hop on a plane and get down here. I'll show you how it's done. Vinegar. I use vinegar to clean out the pipe, the copper tubes and stuff. Oh man, y'all, it's starting to get cold out here. But yeah, I just figured I'm out of YouTube gel. Let me get out here. I got 5 cases of bananas. Dadgum. Yeah, I thought about doing some banana, but my neighbor already did some, and I was thinking about doing it and I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna do that. I'll wait. But I've been kind of thinking about the pineapple, and it's gonna be good, man. That stuff, look, it's been bubbling hard for dadgum. Let's see, what day did I? Hang on, I wrote it down. I started that pineapple. Look, I started that pineapple on the 8th, and it's still bubbling like I just started on the 8th. It's crazy. I ain't never. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm gonna tell you one. Oh, I used to dirt track, and you cannot get that out of your blood. And now I found that this gets in your blood like dirt tracking, man. It's just you can't. I don't know how to explain it. Huh? But that freeze dried. Huh? Damn! I flashed again. Why is this doing this? I don't know how good the volume or the mic's doing on this. Oh, I miss dirt tracks too. And I got a bunch of them around me. I just don't go because, man, the last time I went, I just wanted to go get my old yellow race car out of the field and throw a motor in it, and get some tires. But see, that's the thing, man. Money, money, money. That was the last race car I raced. I did a video on it, and I sunk money into that sucker. But it was worthwhile. The problem, look, I used to rebuild Chevy V8s for under $200, freshen them up. That's no kind of machine work or nothing. That's just lapping the valves in myself and junk like that. No boring or nothing. Just. But when I built that race car motor, man, I had $1,000 in it. I was like, woo, that's a lot of money. But man, there's a dude out there on the track. He had $10,000 in his motor. His motors went on the dynos. Yeah. His dad owned, what was that? Precision Engine Builders in Memphis. Yeah. So he had $10,000 race motors, and I only had 1,000 in mine. But it was all in how you drove. Man, I always heat races. I was first, second, or third in the heat races. In the feature races, I was first, second, or third. So I did good. I mean, I started half the season. I started in July. The season been going from March, I think. I didn't show up till July, and at the end of the season, I finished in the top 10 in points, and I missed half the season. And I was the only hobby car that was pulling up the left front tire in the corners, and I wouldn't get straight. I was halfway down the straightaways, man. I wouldn't get straight till I was past the flagman stand, and I'd get straight enough to get ready to turn again. And I did the old fashioned diamond the track, man. I aimed for that inside of turn one, and then back up that racetrack in the middle of one and two, and I'd shoot back down to the bottom of two coming out, slide up there to midways of the back stretch, and I'd shoot it back down the inside of 3, and then back up middle 3 and 4, and shoot back down. Man, it was fun. Left front tire off the ground and sideways halfway down the straight. I'd come out of the turns, turn 2 and 4. I'd take my hand off the steering wheel. I'd let it sit there and straighten itself up when I. Man, I'm missing some stuff. Yeah. And you know what, Squat? It takes me, this ain't no lie, it takes an hour and 20 minutes for everything to get heated up to where something's coming out. And then I'm going to be there for 5 hours. There's no speeding it up. It takes 5 hours once it starts coming out to once I end. And I ran 3 different batches back to back one time, man. I spent like 20 hours straight out here. It was crazy. But that's why I need a bigger distiller. Hand sanitizer. It's only 7.5 gallons. I can only make 5-gallon batches. That'd be cool. I'm trying to figure out, all right, these side-by-sides they got running around? I want to build my own homemade side-by-side, and I got that 650 Suzuki 1-cylinder engine, air-cooled. Ooh, that would be a bad son of a gun. But I need to figure out what kind of transmission. I need to get a reverse. Ooh, 12 hours. That ain't bad. Wait a minute. Dadgum. So you're getting over 5 gallons, right? By the time you run that batch, you got 5 gallons, right? You can get 5 gallons in 12 hours. That ain't bad. Because it's taking me 6 hours to get. It's taking me 6 hours to get daggum a gallon. Right at a gallon or a little over, depending on the batch. That's what I'm saying. It's over 10%. Somebody's going up that road up there. Well, shoot, Squash, look. Load up your still and meet me up in Heber Springs. We'll set up, I know, a good spot on Sugarloaf Mountain. No. Yeah, that ain't the price. I thought for sure, man, my neighbor, he kind of does the hand sanitizer business too. But man, I can't get him. He's stuck in this old fashioned mindset. And when I try to talk to him, I'm like this last batch I did, I'm like, dude, I cut it. I made all these cuts, right? But it's such high proof all the way to the tails. I can't figure out what I need to do. So I'm trying to get an extra set of taste buds, right? I can't get him to get with the pro. He goes, I can't do that because I got to be there when it's running. I'm like, dude, this stuff is sitting in bottles as it came out. I got 4 different 100 milliliters of the heads. And then I've got, this many milliliters of, what I'm thinking is the hearts. I just need you to come over here because, and taste this. Because I don't know, man. It's like whatever I'm doing, I'm getting too much alcohol. And that sounds crazy to say, but too much alcohol is coming out. Hang on one second. And another thing I've got going here, my worm cooling system is a contained system. But yeah, my worm cooling system is contained. It uses in one run. If I did another run behind it, well, anyhow, let me explain. The initial run, it requires 40 pounds of ice and 5 gallons of water. And that will last all the way through the whole run, 6 hours. All right. Now, if you went to do another batch behind it, all you need is another 20-pound bag of ice, and that'll last 2 more runs. You see, so a total of, you have to take some water out. But the way I got it figured, man, I'm keeping my worm water is like, all right, it's going in at 32 and it's coming out at 42. So I'm losing 10 degrees. And then, like I said, I got it in a sealed system. I've got the water cooling down before it gets back to the ice box where the pump is. Yeah, it's crazy. My neighbor said, I'm not scientific like you. I was like, it ain't about being scientific. I'm just trying to figure out, He goes, I just go by feel and touch. Damn, it's flashed on me again. I'm like, well, I do too, but I use thermometers too. He's like, I'm not worried about the thermometers. You just got to go by feel and touch. Yeah, I'm going by feel and touch too, but I also got thermometers. That way, while I'm feeling and touching, I can actually look at an actual, temperature. And if each time I do a different run, the feeling and touching and the temperature is the same, then I can start just looking at the daggum temperature and, it's simple. I think I missed some. Yeah, you're on that pond. That's why these people used to go up in the mountainsides and find that cold spring water. It wasn't just for some good taste and whiskey, it was for cooling purposes too. I use gas. I gotta have a flame. I mean, yeah, electricity, heating elements, that would be simple. You know what I'd like to do? And if I really went big scale, I'd have me a daggum oil heating system where you have oil filled pipes in your boiler, and you're heating that oil up and running it in there. That would stay consistent, man. It'd be more efficient. I mean, you're still gonna heat with, well, either gas or electricity for the oil. But yeah, that device I come up with, it eliminates the need of a column still. I'm serious. Whatever I've done, what it has done is kind of like, all right, you have stripping runs. Then you take all your stripping runs and you do a spirit run. This thing I made up, you don't have to do stripping runs. You're automatically doing a spirit run when you run this thing. It's weird. I'm trying to understand it. That's why, like I said, I got that magnetic film so I can sit there and look at what the magnet's field is around this copper and how everything. It's crazy. I don't know why I keep getting these green flashes here and there. Yeah, I'm using like a quart mason jar for a thumper. That's another thing I got going. And then toward the end of my run, I'll call it double clutching. Sometimes I'll sit there and kill the burner. I mean, I'm at the end. I'm trying to get the tails to clean up a little, right? I'll let the temperature start dropping down. And once I see that tube start trying to suck out of that thumper, I'll put some heat to it. And by the time I start heating it up, it's done sucked out of the thumper back into the boiler. And then by this time, it takes about 15 minutes. I'll have some clean tails coming out. Because I don't mind if I can get tails that aren't bad, that are clear. That's how I can proof it down. But I don't like using water. Yeah, it is. Oh, well, I can't. Man, I wish. I got to get a patent pending going real quick on this so I can talk to you guys about it. Because I'm telling you, this is a game changer for the whiskey making world. And I don't know how to explain how it came to me, but it came to me. And I'm trying. It's weird. I'm trying to or how do you call it? De-engineer what I've made. I can't explain it. It's one of those deals where you build this invention that works, but you have no idea how it works. Does that make any sense? You know it would work and get the results you're looking for, but how it's doing it, I have not got a clue. And that's what I've already went and I found college studies and all sorts of different studies on effects of this, that, and the other that I can add to what I'm trying to do to help explain it. I'm fixing to get a lot of stuff notarized and stuff. I gotta find me a patent lawyer. It's all it is a upgrade of my original still where I had that aluminum thing. I got rid of it. So where the copper come out of there, it now comes out the top of the thumper. And then I upgrade it to a bigger piece of copper that comes into the thumper out of the boiler. I mean, it's kind of like I've got my old still is actually from the thumper to the the result. Hmm. That's true UFO, but both copper and aluminum are still diamagnetic metals. Glass is a paramagnetic material. Glass will align itself with magnetic field. Copper and aluminum will turn against it. You can take a piece of copper here and have a magnet on a string, and you can pull that magnet back and let it go, and that magnet will sit there and never touch that copper. It'll stop. It'll go. Or you can have a plate of copper and drop a magnet on top of it, and when that magnet gets down there, it'll go real slow. But I've made I can't explain it all, y'all. It's crazy. That's the same problem I got, Squash. If I think of it, somebody's either working on it or has done it. For real. I've had a lot of patentable ideas. But when I went to check on, and one I can still make money. It's a head and neck restraint system for racing I came up with back in the early 90s when I had a real bad race car, Memphis Motorsports. And they've gone to this head and neck restraint. Well, now you can't turn your head in a race car. But this restraint I came up with back then, I'm talking about in like 94, you could have a head and neck restraint on and still turn your head both ways like it ain't there. And I called the 1-800-IDEAS where they had the little caveman sitting there chipping on the wheel. We'll help you patent your idea. Yeah, they will. They buy your idea and then they get the patent number for it. That's how that works. I told them, look, I don't want to sell my idea because, they say they got laboratories and they can do this and they can, see if it works. And if it works, blah, 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 they can research. But they want to buy your idea and get the patent number for themselves. And I just kindly told them, look, just give me the patent office address because I want to walk up on the steps and walk in and apply. Yeah, look, check this out though, Squash. Use magnets while you're using copper on your hand sanitizer machine, and it does some crazy stuff. You can use magnets on, like, if you're growing something in a pot, you can arrange magnets a certain way and it promotes the growth of the roots and the whole plant. It's kind of like frequencies. They've tested that out on plants. You can play Mozart music and the plant will grow better than, some heavy kind of crazy music. Yeah. Sounds like my kind of luck. Hell, I've been at work before, and this guy was like the foreman over the job, and he wanted to do, I was doing heating and air. And I was like, dude, if we do it like this, we can save 2 hours. He's like, you can build that plenum like that? I go, yeah. He goes, we went back to the shop and I built up the plenum I was talking about and went in there and installed it and everything. I did. I knocked like over 2 hours off the job. We get back to the company and the president of the company called us in the office to ask about the job because this is one of those houses in, downtown Memphis. I can't remember exactly, like Madison. That is a ritzy kind of old houses. But this guy had like bases and stuff like that from Africa. I mean, real African artifact stuff. It was one. But anyhow, we're sitting there and he wanted a job went. So we're sitting there. I'm standing beside the foreman guy. And the foreman guy looks at the owner of the company. He goes, "Yeah, I came up with the idea that if we built this plenum, we could save 2 hours on the job, and it worked." And I looked over at the dude. I'm like, "Really? You're gonna take my idea and take credit for it from?" I didn't say nothing. I just sat there like, "All right, I'm gonna bust them out right there like that." But yeah, I know people steal your ideas. Look at Billy Boy. That joker went from stealing computer programs to the jabbing in the arm doctor of the world. Did it turn green again? I thought I caught a flash of green when I took a. Does that mess it up when I put something up there? Trying to figure out what it is. Figure this one out. I'm not used to the camera being there. Uh-oh, it is set. The timer is set. What are we gonna do? Man, y'all, I've been on here over 2 hours. I need to go inside and fix something to eat. Well, look, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in here. It's getting cold out here. Oh, before I go, there's another trick to moonshining, Squash. And I promise you, it works. People, and I don't know if I should tell this secret on YouTube or not, but the word moonshining has a totally different meaning than what people understand moonshining to be. Think about it. Anybody that knows anything about the phases of the moon will understand what I'm about to say. You know how if you get a haircut, like right now, the moon is going from new to full. If you got a haircut right now, your hair is going to grow faster. But if the moon's going from full back to new, where it's shrinking back, if you get a haircut, your hair grows slower. It also works with post holes. If you dig a post hole when the moon's going to full, you'll have more dirt than you need to put back in that hole once you put the post in. But if you dig that post hole after the moon has been full, you will not have enough dirt to go back in that post hole with the post in it. You'll have to find dirt somewhere else. Now, when you go to run your hand sanitizer, you want it to be when the moon is going from new to full. And once that moon goes to full and starts going back the other way, you're going to start putting out less alcohol. I promise you. It also affects your mashing in. People don't understand this. Look, ley lines, magnetics, moon phases. But yeah, that's a little secret. Nobody ever make it to the end of this video, though. But look, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I need to get up there and see you, Squash. We need to run a back. Or let me help you however we need to do it. And while I'm up there, I'll just elope with Shelby. No, I'm kidding. Oh, Lord. All right, UFO, Squash, People's Last Stand, and some unknownness in the background. Roots Magoo. All right, y'all have a good night, too. And until next time, this is John Boy saying, Screw Tube.